WMAZ Eyewitness News at 5.
Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Lori Johnson. Frank Malloy has the week off. Our top story at 5. A Perry teen charged in the death of Samuel Poss was denied bond today in a Houston County courtroom. Luke Meyer for a bond hearing. During the hearing, White's public defender Angie Coggins said White was not a flight risk nor a risk to the community. District Attorney George Hartwig fired back, saying he wanted to present some facts from the investigation to argue that White would be a threat to the community. Hartwig said White and his co-defendant Brandon Warren had planned a suicide pact. But before that, Hartwig said, quote, they wanted to know what it would feel like to kill somebody. Hartwig said in court White and Warren had plans to kill a 12-year-old from Perry before deciding to murder Samuel Poss. After both arguments, Judge Luke Meyer decided to deny White's bond. Both District Attorney Hartwig and White's public defender Angie Coggins did not want to comment. Hartwig said White's arraignment hearing is set for January 4th. An update tonight on the Lawrence County deputy wounded in Sunday night's shooting at Fairview Park Hospital. Matt Serene said he's okay and doing fine. He talked briefly by phone with our Gabrielle Dawkins last night. Serene also posted on the Lawrence County's Sheriff's Facebook page. In the post, Serene gave thanks to God for protecting his life and the hospital staff for their service. He thanked the officers who put their life on the line by helping him get to safety after he was shot. He ends the post with, "Thank you. I can't thank you enough." According to Dublin Police Chief Tim Chapman, Serene is home recovering from his wound. An Atlanta man accused of shooting his wife in the back of the head made his first appearance in court today. Tex McIver admitted to shooting his wife, Diane McIver, who was the president of Corey Airport Services, in their SUV back in September. He says it was an accident, and a close friend in the car at the time of the shooting also says she believed it was an accident. McIver is being charged with involuntary manslaughter and reckless conduct. The judge set his bond at $200,000. In November, we told you about our Verify Votes effort to run down problems at election polls. Now, we wanted to make sure your vote counted. We've learned new information from the Georgia Secretary of State's office about voter complaints and open investigations in Central Georgia. Press Secretary Candace Broche says they received 40 voting complaints statewide. 5 of those complaints came from Central Georgia in Bibb, Putnam, Peach, and Baldwin counties. Broche says the complaints range from improper processing of absentee ballots to improper logic and accuracy testing with voting machines. Their office is conducting an investigation on each complaint.
And we've opened 22 investigations based on Election Day complaints and those following that date. And really, that's not an outrageous number. That's to be expected.
Broche says the number of voter complaints in November is, quote, which he said, not outrageous. The Georgia Secretary of State's office says they received the same number of complaints during early voting in 2012. We have a correction to make. We told you yesterday that in January, Houston County Sheriff Colin Talton will become the longest serving sheriff currently in Georgia. Now that's true, but in the same story, we incorrectly stated that the sheriff Talton is tied with for longest serving record lost an election this spring. Now that's incorrect. Sheriff Glenn Cooper from Chattahoochee County did not run for re-election and is retiring at the end of the year. We are taking a closer look at staying safe on the roads during the holidays. With all of the celebrating going on, sometimes it can include drinking. The Georgia State Patrol urges everyone to drive sober or to get pulled over. According to Roger Hayes at the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, from December 23rd to the 31st of last year, 39 people died. 4 of those deaths were alcohol-related. Patrolman Sergeant McKay Bloodworth says that there will be a strong law enforcement presence during the holidays, and driving drunk could land you in jail.
So imagine what happens if you get in a wreck and you hurt somebody else that's in your vehicle, or if you hit another motorist on the highway. Then you've always got the possibility of injuring them, which could lead to serious criminal charges, as well as criminal and monetary implications for you as the at-fault driver. That's how serious it is.
Some options to get home for partygoers include Uber, a cab, or Coroner Leon Jones on New Year's Eve. Now, he plans to give rides on New Year's Eve from 5 p.m. until 5 a.m. Last year, he drove nearly 100 people. And with Christmas 3 days away, many of you might be heading out to see family. And Perry police say that's when criminals get to work. The department says over the holiday season, they see more home burglaries and car break-ins than any other time during the year. According to the FBI, there were nearly 400,000 burglaries in the U.S. during the holidays last year. Perry police say you should lock your doors, keep valuables out of sight, and let close neighbors know when you're going to be out of town. Sergeant Ike Wilcox with the Perry Police Department says people should also avoid posting that they are out of town or checking in on social media.
And there are criminals who search online profiles that are publicly accessible to see who's away and who's gone. Okay? Wait till you get back. When you're gone, and enjoy the time with the family, put the phone down, take your photos, everything else. Wait to post them until you get back.
The Perry Police Department says they also have a home watch program people can sign up for when they are out of town. While you're gone, they will send an officer by to check on your home every day. All right, now it's time to check in with Chief Meteorologist Ben Jones, who's out checking out some Christmas lights.
Oh, man.
And Ben, how
I'll
we
tell you
looking?
what, I am the Clark Griswold of the TV station, and as the Clark Griswold of the TV station, I'm supposed to get out and go check out people's lights. Now, we've been talking for a while about sending us pictures of your lights. You can't tell yet because the sun's not down, but right here on Stinsonville Road, literally at the entrance of Ingleside Woods, Frank and Lori Seymour live here, and this sucker is going to be visible from space by the time we get into dark in a little while, and we'll have it coming up at the 6 o'clock show, and we'll talk to Frank about how many bulbs he has and what his neighbors have to say about it. Yes! Let's show you this, though. The weather is going to be fine as we go through tonight. We will probably bottom out somewhere around 40 or so to start the day tomorrow. So a partly cloudy night, and then as we go through tomorrow, a cooler day, and it will be the coolest one we see for the next week. It'll be actually around average. Upper 50s for the high tomorrow, and then a warm weekend. Get this, looking warmer than previously thought. Could be low 70s by the time we get into Christmas Day. How about that? Hoping you asked for shorts and flip-flops. And the elves, the news team, assemble as we show you the official Christmas forecast, and you can see 72. Frank, myself, Marv, and Lori. That's a good look right there.
Yes.
Those stockings look nice on Marv. 7 days coming up.
I'm glad we put all that work in on our little dance. It really turned out well. Thanks a lot, Ben.
Yes, it's nice. All right.
Still to come. If you haven't finished all your Christmas shopping yet, you might want to listen up. After the break, we take a closer look at why people wait until the last minute to buy gifts. And we're going to tell you when you need to finish your online shopping to make sure your gifts are under the tree by Christmas. That's next when Eyewitness News at 5 continues. Welcome back. With Christmas 3 days away, shoppers rushing around buying those last-minute gifts. Chief videographer Mike Birchfield talked with a few people about why they waited.
Talk to me. Are y'all out doing some last-minute Christmas shopping?
Yes. Some last minute, yes.
We're doing some last-minute Christmas shopping for our family because my daughter just got here from California and didn't want to bring it on the plane.
I started yesterday. Let's say I went in the store to get one thing, knocked two off my list, so that was a good thing.
It's kind of like the adrenaline. You know, you see everybody in the Christmas spirit trying to get those last minute gifts for their friends and family. So it really does kind of get you into the spirit of Christmas.
It's always fun to see what's out there and, you know, try to find something that meets the needs of the people you like.
146.92.
We are pretty much finished.
Yes.
Now we may, you know, pick up some things here and there if we see something for a friend or for a family. But right now I think we're pretty much done.
And hopefully today I can wrap it up.
2 weeks ago, I finished my shopping.
And if you still need to do your Christmas shopping and you want to avoid the lines, you're running out of time to do it online. Some stores are promising last-minute delivery. Amazon Prime, Target, Best Buy, and Walmart all say if you order today, they guarantee it will be under the tree Christmas morning. Some are even guaranteeing next-day delivery, but if weather conditions get too bad, you might be out of luck. FedEx says they are preparing for that very situation.
We've got 15 meteorologists 24/7 around the clock watching the weather worldwide, and we're really geared up here. We have contingency plans for everything.
Online shopping is expected to account for $117 billion this holiday season. The president of ShipMatrix says UPS has hired 95,000 extra people for the holidays, and FedEx hired 50,000 folks. Still to come, we are checking in with Ben Jones for a check on your weather. Now, he's out looking at houses with the best Christmas displays in Georgia. Plus, have you ever flown on an airplane with a baby? If you have, you know it can sometimes be a little difficult. We're going to show you how an overwhelmed father got a little relief from a total stranger. Check this out. Okay, before we go, you remember this mom? She went viral for dancing a Golden State Warriors basketball game. Well, team returned the favor. Check it out. She made it to the court this time dancing with the cheerleaders. Go, Mom. And you go ahead and bust a move. Get into that Christmas spirit, but make sure you are back on the couch because Eyewitness News at 5 continues after this. Meteorologist Ben Jones out in search of some great Christmas lights. He is at the home where the owners are named, get this, Frank and Lori. So Ben, I know this has to be great.
It is great. I'm telling you what, with the names like Frank and Lori, you know, it was destiny for us to come out here. And their kids' names are Marv and Suzanne, and the dog's name is Ben. It's amazing. It really is. So anyway, a lot of lights back here, and we'll get to it in a little bit when we talk to Frank, not Malloy, Frank Seymour, the guy that owns the house. Really cool stuff, and just like with anybody, if you've got a house, you know, with lights, you add stuff every year, and it's become one of the cool things. Right at the entrance of Ingleside Woods on Stinsonville Road, you know where I'm talking about in Macon. If you live in this neighborhood around here, you no doubt see this one when you come by at night. All right, so let's get on into what's happening with the weather. We'll talk to Frank coming up in just a little bit. It's going to be a cool day tomorrow, actually more like around the average for this time of year, as we'll be looking at 50s. There's a look at the current numbers, 63 and 64. We'll quickly get on through the almanac. That's right, we didn't have the T's a moment ago, so we'll have to blow through these here graphics and get on into tonight. But tonight, again, around 40 or so after what was a warm day today. Now, these kind of numbers that we had today with 67, that plus a few is what Christmas weekend feels like. So, again, after the partly cloudy night, then we'll get on into the 3-day with upper 50s tomorrow, and then we'll have sunshine and a few clouds. I had a rain chance I added back in for Saturday, then I took it back out again for Saturday. Now we're looking at around 70, low 70s for Sunday. Doppler Max HD is quiet and will remain that way as we go through a good long stretch, actually. There will be a couple of times over the next week where things get close, but it's looking pretty dry. Let's go on in through some of these slides of the radar shot and get on into future view. And once we do, we'll show you that on Christmas Eve day, there'll be the potential for maybe some rain in North Georgia. And when future view pops up, you'll see it. It's mainly going to be north of Atlanta or Atlanta northward. As far as we're concerned, it will be quiet here, unless in our northern counties, they may be able to get a sprinkle out of it Christmas Eve night. Going forward into Christmas Day, it's looking quiet as well. Again, still going to be warm, and it stays that way as we go into next week. The long-range models show a wave trying to come across as we go through next week, but not really panning out. So really the next best rain chance is probably going to be about a week from today. And we'll show you the current numbers as we look around. We've got a lot of 60s around central Georgia. And as we look at the future view map for temperatures, we'll start tomorrow morning around 40, and then we'll climb only into the upper 50s as we get into the afternoon. And then as we get into Saturday morning, we'll be looking at low 40s or so, somewhere in the 40s. And then we'll go to around 70 on Saturday. So we'll hot button on over to the 7-day. We're looking at low 70s for Christmas Day. Occasionally we'll fly in one of these warm Christmases, and this is going to be one of those. So do like the Joneses on Christmas Eve. Have the fire, but crank up the AC so that you're comfortable. All right, we're live with Christmas lights, Griswold style. We're back after this.
Every parent knows that flying with a baby can be very stressful. So when a father was traveling alone with his 8-month-old, the last thing he expected was a little relief. Kevin Reese from our Dallas station shows us how a stranger's kind actions help the father to have a few moments of peace.
Say, go frogs.
His name is Kai. He's 8 months old, and it was his first round trip on an airplane. But weather canceled flights out of Chicago, and his mom and dad got rebooked on separate airlines home.
Basically, who got in first?
That's how Evan Hughes and his wife Carrie decided who would fly alone with Kai. The baby did sleep all the way to the connecting flight in Atlanta, But on the next plane to Dallas.
You know, I was walking down the aisle and everybody's looking at me like, oh gosh, guy with a baby, please don't sit by me.
Fortunately, he sat in the center seat next to a 25-year-old woman who offered to help when Kai got fussy.
You know, she offered to hold him and I didn't want to impose and I refused a few times. And finally he kind of got a little vocal. And so I said, you know, okay. And she said, oh, just give him to me.
Kai calmed down when he got to look out the window, and later he fell asleep in her lap. That's when India Massenberg of Dallas told the tired and weary dad to trust her, go ahead, and take a nap too.
It was such a precious moment. I asked her right then, I was just like, do you mind if I take a picture of this? And
now the picture and the kind gesture are making the rounds on social media.
And we're so thankful for her and her kindness.
And the young woman, as it turns out, works in childcare and says she didn't mind helping a dad in need.
It totally caught me off guard, and you know, her generosity and just kindness through the whole thing was really spectacular.
Good job.
Spectacular gesture, but as Kai's mom pointed out, who wouldn't want to hold him?
Yay.
He is a cutie. Still to come, Ben is testing out Christmas lights. We're going to check in with him after the break to see all the homeowner had to do to get this display up and running. But before we head out, a family received a surprise yesterday at Bass Pro Shops in Macon. Children were posing with Santa, and then look who comes out the back here. Okay, turn around. Who's there? Oh, it's Dad! Master Sergeant Daniel Lee emerged from the secret door behind Santa's chair. What a wonderful, great early Christmas gift. So go ahead and grab a box of tissues. Just make sure you make it back when Eyewitness News at 5 continues. Welcome back. We are highlighting one house in Central Georgia that is all decked out in Christmas lights. Ben Jones joins us live at that house with the homeowner, who is named Frank, not Malloy, right? But the first name is Frank.
That's right. Yep, not Malloy, Frank Seymour. Frank and Lori is right, but Seymour last name. We're right here, Ingleside Woods, the entrance where you come in on Stinsonville Road. Frank, thanks for having us out. Clark Griswold here thanks you, although I think you're known as Clark Griswold to your family too, right?
That's true. That is true. Everybody does call me that.
How many lights do we have here?
Well, I've got about 80 strands. You figure, what, about 150 bulbs per strand. That comes out to about 12,000 bulbs, individual bulbs. That's just the strands themselves. And then you throw in all the other line strings. Oh, it's probably up there about 15,000, but there's always room for more.
What do the neighbors think?
Oh, they love it. They really do. In fact, they were concerned this year because I had a late start. So they thought maybe I had a serious accident or maybe it passed away or something.
No, that's terrible. So what about, are you going to add next year?
Yes, there's always room. I've got the roof to cover up next year, so as long as my wife doesn't find out about it, I'll get them.
We won't tell anybody. No. Nobody's watching this. Thanks, man. We got the nuclear power switch for extra power if we need it, just like Clark Griswold. Frank and Lori Seymour, Stinsonville Road in Macon. Lori, back to you. It's Christmas time.
It is awesome. Thanks a lot, Ben and Frank. Before we go, we asked for your photos with Santa, and we want to check out some of the ones we received. Share yours with us by using the Your Take tab on our website, and we'll be right back. Tis the season to burst out with holiday songs. We join Suzanne Lawler live at the Festive House on Captain Kell in Macon.
Yeah, right at the corner of Captain Kell and Stinsonville at the entrance to Ingleside Woods. But you got something cool to talk about.
Well, okay, how many holiday songs do you think you know? And he's like the king of Christmas, so you know.
Probably 900 or so.
Okay, but there's one song that trips everybody up.
Day of Christmas, my true love came to me. 2 French hens. That ain't right.
All right, you know, if Santa can't get it, the 12 days of Christmas, can anybody? Seriously, tonight at 6, we put folks to the challenge. Most gave it the old college try, Ben, and some folks went above and beyond. We are talking dancing elves at 6, and we may or may not be using this bag as a cheat sheet.
That's a cheat sheet.
Yes.
I love it. All right, that's coming up at 6, and see, you can kind of quiz yourself on this. So jump back with us at 6. We're live here, Ingleside Woods. It's Christmas time. Lori, back to you.
Thank you so much, Ben. And that's going to wrap it up for today's edition of Eyewitness News at 5. Go ahead and join us again in about 28 minutes for Eyewitness News at 6. Until then, the news continues now on 13WMAZ.com. Andy's up next.